Right, without further ado, let's begin.
Yep, and please go ahead and buy an issue of the Islander magazine. You can find it on the store on the Lotus Eaters website. Now I want to tell you how Sadiq Khan has revealed that he's pretty much wrong about everything important in life.
No kidding.
Yeah, so let's sort of start. He had an interview last year with the Islam channel where he made a bunch of statements. Now this is making the rounds again, presenting Sadiq Khan as saying that he's going to give council houses only to Muslims. He didn't quite say that, although he did clearly imply that they would be the priority for him. It's an important interview, and since Reuters took the time to fact check it and say, no, he didn't promise all of these freebies to Muslims, I wanted to explore it in depth and dissect it and show you why he's pretty much wrong about everything substantial in life. Let's listen to the man. Samson?
8 years, I've sought to be a mayor for all Londoners, whether you're Muslim, Jewish, Christian, Hindu, Sikh, Buddhist, member of an organised faith or not. I know many Londoners who are Muslim suffer real challenges in relation to not having their potential fulfilled because they're going hungry at school. Their parents are stressed and they're skipping meals because they're worried about how their kids are going to eat. So if I'm re-elected, I will make my groundbreaking policy of free school meals permanent, which will really make a difference. A family with one child will save £500 a year. The second big thing
So I wanted to just take all of this interview in context and just break it down step by step.
Sure.
The first question that I have is, why can't you afford to feed your own children?
Yeah, what a damning indictment of the Muslim community.
Exactly. So if the starting point for Sadiq Khan is that Muslims in London can't even afford to feed their own kids, the answer is they really shouldn't be in London. The idea of importing starving people to be on welfare and to be dependent on the state for something as basic as feeding your own children. We all go through hard times. We all owe each other charity sometimes. But charity is a communal effort within the community. Simply showing up in another person's country and saying, feed me and feed me forever, is fundamentally different from demanding Christian charity.
Sure, but have you considered that they don't care and you're prepared to give them money through the state and so they're prepared to take it?
Exactly, which is what it is. Yeah. It's resource redistribution along ethnic and religious lines to benefit people who can't even feed themselves. If you can't feed yourself, it doesn't strike me as wise to bring you into my home permanently.
I can't
this home, Lebanon or Britain.
I can't help but feel that they might not be as honest about this as we might expect as well.
Yes.
My children, I can't feed them. You have to feed them.
Yes, absolutely. The whole issue of cheating on benefits is a very substantial one.
Saying they're driving like taxis for cash or something.
No, I'm saying
you can't have a Uber. Go on.
I'm saying they just go to school and tell them you haven't had breakfast.
Yeah.
So they're like that. You know?
Yes, you're saying they're not quite in tune with the high trust, fair play society, Carl.
Weirdly, they don't share the Protestant values that seem to underpin England. Yes.
But let's listen to what his second priority is, because again, this was supposedly taken out of context, and I want to go through this step by step.
Samson, can you control
fulfilling their potential? Often they're underemployed or in jobs that they can do better jobs, but they haven't got the skills. Every Londoner who is on low income or not working will get free training to get the skills for jobs that are created in London. Really important in this great city. They're the big issue facing Londoners.
So let's pause here for a second again. If people aren't fulfilling their wages in their potential in the economic capital of Europe, at least it's partly their own fault.
Again, another damning indictment. Yeah, I've got a bunch of untrained Muslims who can't earn any money, so you have to train them and feed them. It's like, sorry, this isn't the British Empire. If we were governors over Pakistan or whatever, maybe I'd agree, but we're not, so piss off.
This is the whole theme of it. The whole theme of it is that what's happening is that London is being flooded with low-wage, low-skilled people who are basically taking away the jobs from young English people who would start their career with a low-level job such as, I don't know, stacking shelves or working in a warehouse or being delivery drivers or what have you. These are perfect jobs if you're 14, 15, 17. A good way to save some pocket money, a good way to learn financial responsibility, become autonomous. Instead of doing that, what's happening is that people are being brought in on benefits to fill these jobs, and usually to figure out ways of cheating the system. And it's these precise people who are Mayor Sadiq Khan's priority. That doesn't exactly seem sensible, but he's presenting that as his own electoral platform because he knows that he will get a certain ethnic and religious vote supporting him because he's going to redistribute money to them.
But also, this interview with the Islam channel, you kind of notice that he begins by saying, oh, well, I mean, for all Londoners, but here I'm going to focus on the Muslims and what I'm going to do for them. And here's all of this stuff for the Muslims. It's like, right, okay, I believe you, Sadiq. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
I believe you.
Exactly.
You're going to do all
It's funny how he just has the mic, but just says Islam. I know it says channel underneath him. If you had a WWE character of like the Muslim, it would be this guy.
But he's completely comfortable with it, and like I said, I believe that this is what he's going to do.
Yep. His third priority around housing is what got people riled up, and I really want to take some time to sort of discuss that in a little more detail and give it the attention it deserves.
Sorry, Samson, can you sort this out for us?
And so we need to build far more homes in our city because, often people from minority communities want to live near a mosque, near halal food, near places where there are other people like them. So they, for a variety of obvious reasons, and they're priced out.
Can we pause that?
Because
Sorry,
there's not enough houses.
Because look, often people from minority communities want to live near a mosque and get their halal food. It's like, I don't think that's communities plural.
Which community is that?
I think that's
These Polish people that love the halal and the mosque.
the Romanians
Exactly.
and Bulgarians and the Hindus and the Sikhs. Yeah.
For me, it's the thoughtlessness of it all, in the sense that if it was white flight and people trying to avoid people who are different from them, it would be called racism.
Yes.
If it's people congregating with others who are like them, which is a natural human impulse, you've had Irish neighborhoods, you've had Jewish neighborhoods, you've had all kinds of ethnic enclaves wherever different ethnicities mix, then it's a good thing. And we need to provide them with social housing, says Mayor Khan.
At least 6,000 rent control homes. And the final thing to say in relation to Londoners who are Muslim.
So he's promising 40,000 new council houses to make sure that people can live around their own kin.
Yeah.
Excluding you guys. Yeah. Sorry.
But that's what integration looks like.
That's what integration looks like, apparently. That's exactly what integration looks like. And the question that I have here is, have you considered the feelings of the people who already live there? As someone from Lebanon, I remember how the Palestinian inflow into Lebanon pretty much destroyed the country and led to civil war. I remember how the Syrian inflow into Lebanon pretty much destroyed the country and crippled it for a generation. And so I've seen this playbook a bunch of times. First comes, oh, please be tolerant, oh, please be inclusive, oh, please be forgiving. Then come the conditions. We want halal meat, we want to live around people who are like us, we want you to respect our beliefs. Then comes, well, we're a majority now, screw you. So the playbook is a pretty standard one, and at no point does it take account of the people who already live there and their identity and their beliefs and what they want.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure that it doesn't take any account of them. I mean, it takes account of how much money they have and how much money can be funneled through the state to this particular community.
Yep, pretty much.
So,
if it's the same playbook, which it obviously is, and it's quite explicit, why do people fall for it every time? I mean, they're not shy about announcing it.
I think you're being intolerant, and I think I'm about to call the police to report your intolerance and mine.
I was being satirical.
Yeah.
Devil's advocate.
Jokes are not allowed. I don't know if you've heard, but jokes are no longer tolerated. You might offend someone's feelings. But it really is a bit stunning that the argument here is that people should be imported to live in social housing and in rent-controlled properties and to have their children fed by the state.
And trained.
And to have their children trained by the state because they can't make it work in the economic capital of Europe.
The incredible thing as well, I mean, it's one thing to say ghettos are a problem, it's actually slightly better than what they do with social housing, which is they put it next to people who bought the house or you bought a share of it, and you have to look across, because I've done this, at the people you're going to work to pay for who are doing nothing and who destroyed their part of their block or their side of the building. And you're like, oh, I'm going out to work now so they can watch this massive telly, and I have to watch it. And of course, they're not from England either. And I'm just like... He completely... It's a recipe to turn me into Michael Douglas from falling down.
Yeah, but you can feel Gammonzilla rising.
Yeah, I can feel it rising.
I can really feel him rising.
And also, they made noise. I live in a place, they made so much noise, like outside, kids outside, no parent supervision, screaming. Sorry to hydrate you a bit, but screaming for hours and hours. This went on for years. The social housing kids, no one looking after them, just feral children. I know this is like the most Tory thing I've ever seen.
No.
It's like,
but it's
Corbyn policy to put. It's just leftist policy to put it in. You got to put it so we can't keep it separate. You got to put it in with the people that have sweated to pay for the housing. It doesn't work because it's bound to create resentment. Anyway, sorry.
Yep, it is. It absolutely is.
I hate it so much, man. Sorry, Samson, can you control this?
This is getting comic.
We get the sound.
We lose the sound.
Go back a couple of seconds as well.
I'm really proud of. And say in relation to Londoners who are Muslim is, look, one of our strengths is our diversity. It's something I'm really proud of. I've organised, since I've been mayor, events like Eid on the Square, Ramadan Nights, and so forth. Why is that important? It gives a sense of belonging. Look,
what's being admitted
incredible.
here...
Where's the diversity?
Yeah, where's the diversity? Sorry, don't go on.
What's being admitted here is more important. What's being admitted here accidentally is even more important. It's not about just where's the diversity. What's being admitted is that there isn't a sense of belonging.
Yes.
It's a realization that this isn't your country. Now, I know that this isn't my country. I happen to be a friend of this country. But the admission here is that there is no sense of belonging. It must be artificially engineered. It is artificially engineered by creating events that are for Muslims and by making these events high profile, like having iftar in Trafalgar Square as a sort of, here we are, we're dominant, as having various events around Ramadan to celebrate something that is completely alien to Britain and to England. And to say, no, this is normal now, and this is what inclusion looks like. I don't think that an iftar is going to attract, I don't know, the average crowd from Essex who were originally from East London. I don't think these people are going to say, yeah, it's a wonderful iftar, let's go for it.
If anything, it takes on the aspect of settler colonialism, doesn't it? Extract resources from the natives so a foreign community can come in and terraform the landscape to be more suitable to them, and then instantiate all of their religious and cultural habits there at the expense and completely against the will of the natives. How is it not?
To be very fair, it will be somewhat diverse. There will be English Liberal Democrat politicians there. So Ed Davey,
King Charles will be
terrified.
Yeah, King
absolutely
Charles,
terrified.
Ed Davey,
yes,
and thousands of Muslims
trying to practice
Jeremy
eating with their
Corbyn.
hands. Yeah. It's not Samson's fault. It's really not.
I know it's not his fault.
Donald Trump won in 2016 was because friends of mine, people in America, were complacent, thinking that we've made progress, we're going to carry on making progress. And the frustration we had was the lack of pace in progress, and lo and behold, it went backwards, right? I think the same's happening here. Over the last 8 years since I've been mayor, I think I've had 5.
So this is an important point.
Yeah.
Progress. Can someone define it?
Yes, I can. It's the Islamification of Britain for him.
There you go.
Like, he's got no other telos here at all.
Pretty
it's
much.
like, no, we need to get as many Muslims over. We need to get them trained, get them paid for, get them fed, get their institutions up and running, and that's progress.
Yeah,
and we
exactly.
didn't get that in America. In fact, you've got Gammonzilla in America coming up in the form of Donald Trump.
Return to an ancient system of governance. It does, whatever its merits, it's not really progress, is it?
Well, I mean, again, it depends which
destruction.
direction you're going in, right? If you're like, okay, I want to get to that destination, which is the Islamification of Britain, and you want to get to, I'd like Britain to be a normal British country, well, you're definitely not getting the progress you want, and he's getting all the progress he wants.
Yeah, pretty much.
The goal's assumed, and then it's just how far along, blip, 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 how far the barrel is filled
I can't believe Sadiq Khan, very public Muslim and chair of the Fabian Society, is doing this to us. Who can imagine?
Yep, absolutely.
It's not as easy as it looks.
No,
I
it's
tried
not.
to do this. It's wobbly, that much.
That instability leads to problems.
Can we go
And
back
they've also
to
used
someone-
policies
No, you can skip that. It's fine.
May, Johnson, Truss, Sunak. That instability leads to problems. And they've also used policies to divide our communities, pitted north versus south, old versus young, some communities against the other. That's why we've got to be vigilant, and we've got to work really hard to be friends of our neighbours, provide allyship. And one of the things I'm really proud of is how Muslims and Jews work together, or Hindus and Sikhs work together, or Christians and Muslims work together, and so forth. That's a really good model. I was last night at London Citizens, and on the stage was a rabbi and a Muslim leader working together to support asylum seekers.
Sounds like an old pub joke. There was a Muslim and a rabbi. I mean, have you seen a lot of Jews and Muslims working together on the streets of London?
But look at his argument. We all have to work together, Muslims, Jews, Hindus, Sikhs, Christians, to get as many Muslims into this country as possible.
Exactly.
It's like, sorry, no, I'm not in favour of that.
Exactly.
That's all.
Exactly. I mean, one point is Trump representing backwardness.
Yes.
The idea of your own nation first is backwards.
Yes.
Now, Sadiq Khan said nothing about the expulsion of Afghans from Pakistan. Whenever India and Pakistan get into a fight, the Pakistani and Indians on the progressive side start fighting each other, each one for his own ethnic kin or religious kin. And the argument between them is sort of, endless.
Well,
However,
there's no resolution to it. It's about
a solution for it.
Exactly. There's about staking out territory. One has to go and the other can stay.
Exactly. And so everything implied in what he says, their communities are being divided from each other. No. The fact that there is diversity allows for communal divisions to emerge. Now, some diversity is going to be there.
Necessarily makes them happen.
Unless you're under an imperial system that keeps everybody under a fair enough boot. Which is the only time where Lebanon worked, when there were either the Ottomans or the French. So saying that this is, good, that this is progress, it implies a sort of moral universe that is completely alien to what, say, a Christian Mount Lebanon would be, or to what a Druze Mount Lebanon would be, or to what an English England would be.
That's correct.
It's entirely alien. And this is what he's offering. He's saying, I will work together with rabbis and whoever in order to make sure that there are more asylum seekers.
Yes.
Now, given what's happened over the last few years in terms of Jewish and Muslim relations, I don't know how this really works. But the fact that in 2024 you had Jewish rabbis willing to say, we want more asylum seekers from the Middle East and Africa who are going to side with the Muslims against us, that's just suicidal. That's just insane. It's destructive.
I guess they have a place to retreat to, though, when it all goes belly up, right?
They do have a place to retreat to.
We only have one England.
Yep, pretty much. So the point of this segment is that Sadiq Khan is wrong about everything important in life. And everything he said in that interview, even though he didn't say, I'm going to give these houses only for Muslims, although he did say the purpose of these additional houses is to help Muslims live next to other Muslims.
And near the mosques.
And near the mosques, and near the halal shops, and near their own kin. Yeah. He did say that, even though Reuters did a silly fact check saying, no, not quite, not exactly.
Am I going to not read between the lines on this? Of course I am.
Exactly.
But the thing is, I'm not sure I'd say he's wrong, right? Because I think that from his own paradigm, he's completely correct about what he's doing. I've become the mayor of London, so I can funnel resources to the Muslim community, so I can get them trained, and get them educated, and get them food, and get them resources. And so they...
At your expense.
At the expense of the
taxpayers' expense.
In order to continue Islamifying Britain. And I mean, that's not wrong, as in technically, logically incorrect from his point of view. That's precisely desirable. It's just really undesirable for just the native people of this country.
Yes, pretty much. And, outside of a relativist framework, it's also objectively wrong, but that's a different conversation that I'll say for a different time. He goes on
to have more housing in London, and that's the sort of teamwork I want to see in our city. Look, I'm somebody who was a member of Parliament for 11 years and been mayor for 8 years, and I've met too many victims of crime. I've spent too much time with bereaved families. It's heartbreaking. And what I'm clear about is what are the complex causes of crime? Not excusing it. What are the causes of crime? Deprivation, poverty, alienation, lack of opportunity. And they've got worse over the last 14 years because of government cuts. So we've got to be tough on the complex causes of crime, invest in young people, invest in youth clubs, invest in after-school clubs.
you know what the other cause of crime is? Getting a big knife and putting it in someone else.
It's just not enough youth clubs, mate.
You know, it's not always the poverty. Sometimes it's the big knife.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the knife's fault.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the urge to pick up knives and stab people, even.
Yeah, but if they just had some community centres, this wouldn't happen. You heard the man.
I mean, even with the sort of school meals stuff and the community centres and all of that, you know that the contracts for these things are going to go to entities that Sadiq Khan looks favourably upon. And you know that this is going to involve a huge amount of corruption. Some of it we will learn about, some of it we will never learn about, and that it is going to benefit people who either agree with him ideologically or religiously, or are his ethnic kin, which is pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
So you know that this is a redistribution game. So there's an interest, as far as he's concerned, in presenting this crime problem as being, it's just the circumstances. It's just the socioeconomic factors. It's got nothing to do with anything else. Don't think about it this way. And I thought that given that he wanted to talk about this kind of,
That's one thing.
Toughness on crime. Yeah, go on.
And by the way, I went with knives because we're on YouTube. I thought I'll tone it down from other things I could say. But isn't there a contradiction between that's a leftist frame, right? The idea of okay, it's poverty, it's this, it's that.
Very, yeah.
But what do the Muslims actually say about that? Because I can imagine that they're not really big on that. Surely in that kind of culture, there's an element of personal responsibility or pride or something.
No, it's about honour.
Honour, yeah.
Yeah, it's
so
about...
where does that go with? I'm just poor. That's leftism over Islam, surely.
It divides into two things. So there's an old Islamic tradition that says that the penalty for thieving, which is to amputate the hands, was suspended in years where there was famine because the poor would steal food and that would be sort of tolerated. But generally, there is definitely a very harsh view on crime in Muslim societies, and it's very often enforced by the community itself. Like the police would have to sort of struggle to get the thief out from the hands of the community before he gets murdered.
Yeah, so it's crime in our country is a means to an end, and once Sharia is there, will they end the crime? I'm just wondering.
But hang on. The thing is, we're thinking of crime as a universal abstract property, as in crime in a kind of like general law-like way. If it's crimes from one community against another community,
that is permissible.
That's what I'm saying.
Then this is allowed, because there are all kinds of interpretations by people close to Islamic State, which are not fully mainstream in Islamic thinking, saying that, when you are in the land of the unbelievers, you get to do whatever you want.
Yes.
And you always see the argument that, no, it's the girl's fault that they got raped, regardless of age, regardless of the fact that they were drugged.
From the Muslim wives.
Exactly. Including from the wives and daughters and the families. Yes, absolutely. So you see this mindset that says, no, some crimes are permitted. So when he says we're going to focus on the causes of crime, one of the things implied in there is that I'm going to channel money to entities that are friendly to me in order to support my own community, and I will dress that up as being countering the causes of crime. But then if you just look at the data, what it tells you is that, the percentage of Muslims who are in jail has been pretty overrepresented, shall we say.
Well, I mean, we can see on the graph here, it's nearly 3 times the actual population.
Exactly. And that's a theme that's repeated pretty much everywhere in Europe.
But also, no religion is a surprisingly underrepresented one as well, isn't it?
Yep.
You can see that 37% of the population, but only 31% of the actual criminals.
Yep. So it's basically because the no religion types tend to be, mid-wit class. So this tells you that really the growth of the Muslim population has led to an even higher proportion of Muslims being in jail. So it's not really worked. But this redistribution effort is ongoing. So when Reuters says that no, they're fact-checking this, and that no, Sadiq Khan didn't say that he was going to build 40,000 homes only for Muslims, what he said is considerably worse. He's admitted that there are ethnic and religious differences. He's admitted that Muslims in Britain don't feel a sense of belonging. He's admitted that there's a real problem with crime with minority communities. He's admitted pretty much every talking point of the right, but he's dressed it up in a particular way to say, you should support my redistribution agenda that favors my own community. So this is the actual fact check on what Sadiq Khan said. It's not, oh, he's just going to give away houses to Muslims. It's actually considerably worse. Yeah. Muslims want to form their own enclaves. They want to live separately. They want their own identity. They want to assert that identity in Britain. That's what Sadiq Khan actually said.
Sadiq Khan is going to facilitate that.
And his role is to help that as much as he can. Yeah. Yes.
Who are the men that pick for scraps amongst the ruins at the end of history? You should know, because you encounter them every day. Between the towering buildings of a fallen empire, we find the Fellahin, the historyless men, who know nothing of the turning of the cosmic wheel and find themselves outside of civilization itself. Cut loose from the great chain of being, they represent the loam into which our dying culture will return. That is, unless we choose to take up the burden once again. This Fellahin condition is the subject we explore in issue 4 of Islander magazine, on sale while stocks last and available worldwide at shop.lotuseaters.com.